Hello and welcome back to Raise Gaming and more Monster Hunter Wilds talk. Today we're discussing the upcoming expected news because the Game Awards is now right around the corner. If you're unaware, it's been said that they plan to keep the pace that we've been seeing for new announcements and reveals, which essentially has been something to look at and talk about, big or small, every month. On average, that's been some big information to talk about though, like new trailers, big reveals, and most recently the full-on beta that we played at the start of last month. Well, now it's getting closer and closer to the time we'd expect new information again, and with the Game Awards being at the ideal time, we figure some kind of reveal would make sense of that event. When that is then is December 12th, or technically the 13th, if you live in Europe. But what will the reveal actually be? First up, we expect it to be trailer number 6, which we assume will highlight the fourth, yet to be revealed locale. We imagine that'll be some sort of cold biome as a theme, since, you know, we have the other three main types revealed already, and the oil well basin was the sort of volcanic region. That leaves us with a kind of cold or ice biome as the last relevant one. Also, because of the details we saw throughout the beta, we're pretty confident about that. Firstly, we have, say, the cooking option. If you attempted to create a custom meal, then went down to the finishing touches, you'd choose three things. There'd be wild herbs and eastern honey. Those aren't relevant here. The monster chili, that certainly is. As you can see, this provides the food skill sizzling meal. This negates the effects of hot or cold climates and increases your defense when in such areas. So let's say we're in the hot desert, that should work. But what cold environment are we actually aware of right now? It's not something we would have seen in the Windward Plains, or say the Scarlet Forest, or what we know of the Oil Well Basin, because that's going to be a very hot environment. Therefore, we are missing a proper cold locale, or a location within a locale that would fit that purpose. So not only was it originally expected we'd have 4, and the fact that we're missing the usual cold one, this food buff suggests it will also be a mechanic in the game too. But not only that, we have more to talk about. Apparently, as the second clear tell, there was a setting you could change under graphics, and it would allow you to set the quality of sand, snow, and water. And obviously we've not seen snow in the game yet. However, when I went to check this myself for this video, I was looking at my own footage, looking through the settings when I was playing on PC during the beta. I looked at every page of the graphics and did not see any snow reference in the list of options. I could change like fur quality, sky and clouds, grass and tree, water effects, but there was nothing about sand or snow, for example. But the thing is, I saw multiple posts about this sand, snow and water quality setting, so I'm inclined to think that it was there at some point. Maybe they removed it, I don't know. But what about just one more thing that makes us think this? Well, do you remember the Switch X weapon trailer before Gamescom and all the real footage that came out? Well, it showed this pretty interesting set, and especially the weapon, that's yet to be confirmed as any monster that we've actually seen so far. We can't quite tell if it's either insect or maybe crab in design, but whatever it is, it's certainly something that would fit in a colder environment. It has this kind of dark and deep purple to it, and it's wrapped in this skin or cloth. The set that the hunter's wearing is heavily robed, and you know, it actually reminds me a bit of Mizutsune's set. But either way, it's one of the last monsters we've had teased and yet to see anything truly confirmed for that. So locale 4, it's extremely likely it'll be a cold environment that will feature snow and potentially areas that are cold enough to affect you negatively. Now we've seen things like warm drinks and cold drinks in the past, but it would seem like in Wilds we're going to have food buffs that are going to do that kind of job. But what will be in this locale? Well, if we go by Trailer 5 setup, we had 3 monsters revealed in that, right? With one being the new apex predator of that region. So I think it's fair to assume that we'll have at least 3 new monsters to look at in that, though I'm not expecting any returning monsters to interrupt that, only to be added on top. After all, we're about 25 monsters plus revealed so far for the game. And both World and Rise had more monsters than that at their start, so we certainly have more to be revealed for Wilds if it's the same. Keep in mind though, this is obviously speculation, we don't really know, so they could do anything. It's just that I'm not convinced we're going to have a 5th locale revealed at this time, and there's lots of monsters to potentially reveal. This would then create room for them to do more reveals in the future before full release, like Trailer 7, maybe with a focus on returning monsters or something like that, or giving them more time to lean into the story of Arkveld and so on. But yeah, in Trailer 6, I imagine 3 new monsters, with one being an apex. And I could even imagine one of those monsters finally revealing the Switch X weapon and set revealed at long last. I mean, it wasn't until Trailer 5 that we finally saw the monster Rompompolo, which revealed the monster behind the hammer weapon trailer, for example. But in regards to the apex they might reveal, it's a pretty exciting concept. Ray Dow was obviously super cool and has become a fan favorite after the beta, but even more unique was duna, this kind of giant whale, or then we have the Black Flame, which we don't truly know the details of or what its real name actually is. It's just this giant fire octopus, which is awesome and very unexpected. So if the fourth locale means final new apex for an ice or cold environment, truly I don't know what they're going to have created. They've all been hits so far though, so I've got pretty high expectations. Now before we get to the final expected reveal for trailer 6, what about endgame or unique systems for the game? Will that be teased at all? Basically, we're wondering, what is Wilds going to do for their new version of, say, tempered or afflicted monsters? Will it be other thought extinct monsters? Truly, we don't know, and it's pure random guessing at this point. And the thing is, I imagine the period after the Game Awards, but before release, where they might still do more reveals, that will be a great time to focus on things like that. Returning monsters and information about the endgame. That's a good time for them to do this. So I'm not expecting that information in trailer 6. What I am expecting, however, is the announcement of the demo, when it'll be, and what will be in it. In short, since we have talked about this recently, I think we'll have a demo for Wilds because it's the normal thing for them to do, though the beta was obviously just a welcome surprise. If it's as per usual, then it'll be about a month before the launch of the game, so I'd imagine early January, that'd be about right. Though there's part of me that could see them doing something crazy like announcing it and then saying, oh, and it's available now or super soon. You never know. But yeah, we've had demos to try the games before launch. It's a very normal thing for them to do. They're a great way for people to try the game, even long after the launch of it, to see if they want to buy it either way. But based on the previous demos, we could expect 3 quests, 3 missions you do. An easy, a medium, and a hard level hunt to do. And while the easy and medium hunts could be familiar monsters maybe we've seen from the beta, the demos we've seen in the past repeatedly feature the flagship of the game to fight even before release, just under tight time restrictions. So to give you some examples, we had Magnamalo in Rise, No Gigante for World, and Valstrax even in GU. So it's entirely possible that we'll get to fight Arkveld before the launch of the game, just under tight and tough restrictions, like I said, such as 15 minutes to complete the hunt while in, a preset pile of gear with limited skills. It's definitely going to be beyond what would normally be the thing you face in the full release. So it'll be hard, but also really fun. Though, there is a little bit of suspicion that we'll fight something else instead, like say, an apex predator, rather than the flagship this time. Whether that would be Ray again, or one of the other apexes. The only reason I say that is because they might want to keep some of the mystery around the flagship this time. Arkveld is really unique, and was a type thought extinct as a big part of the story. That mystery and how that's going to be heavily part of the story is something that makes me think they might want to keep that hidden for the full release. And if they do that, I'd be fine with it, because I think it's nice to have something saved for the full release, at least personally. The last thing I want to say for this video then is, am I suggesting that there won't be a second beta by saying there's going to be a demo? Well, I think a second beta is unlikely, and I always really felt that way. I just think the demo, at least based on the history, is much more likely. But at the same time, I didn't expect the first beta in the first place, so I can't say for sure. I do think it might be reasonable for them to want to test, say, the new performance on new builds, and the potential balance updates from beta 1 to a beta 2. But the thing is, it feels like strong, wishful thinking for me, so we'll just have to see. Like I've been saying throughout though, we can still expect more information, trailers and reveals after our next one. But we really do think the Game Awards on December 12th is going to be our next big reveal. With that, we imagine a 4th locale revealed, new monsters, the next apex, and a possible demo announcement. But what do you guys think we're going to get? Let us know. For now though, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.